Have you ever thought about what happens when we exploit nature too much? We keep taking and taking from the earth without getting anything back. There are consequences. First, we end up with fewer resources for the future. Forests, clean water, fossil fuels, these things don't last forever. Second, the environment around us gets damaged, sometimes for generations. Pollution, deforestation, and mining can poison land and water for decades. Some damage just doesn't go away. Third, there's habitat loss. When we clear land or overuse natural areas, we destroy the homes of countless animals and plants. And once those species are gone, they're gone forever. And finally, there's climate change. Burning fossil fuels and destroying forests releases carbon into the atmosphere, heating up the planet and leading to more extreme weather, floods, and wildfires. The bottom line, exploiting nature doesn't just hurt the planet, it hurts us. So let's take care of what we have before it's too late.
Settlers arrived on Easter Island around 900 CE, in which they developed a complex society with agriculture. At first, society and the environment was healthy. However, the population on Easter Island grew rapidly, which meant there was a need for more resources to satisfy the people. As time went on, the rates of resource depletion and deforestation began to rise rapidly, and as more resources were exploited, the island fell into critical conditions without the essential resources. The human population on Easter Island eventually decreased rapidly.
So what can we learn from this tragedy? In summary of the collapse of Easter Island, its failure showcases how finite resources have hard limits and that their overusage leads to sudden environmental collapse. The islanders focused on massive agricultural and construction projects outstripped what their environment could sustainably yield, exhausting resources. This environmental collapse led to societal failures, with food shortages and conflict escalating. Additionally, the islanders' tunnel vision on their devastating goals by persisting with destructive activities in the face of clear warnings and their remoteness meant that they couldn't lessen the destruction. This is similar to how the Earth, being an isolated planet in the vastness of space, is exposed to the same weakness. Our planet today has similar conditions to what led to the end of the Easter Island society and showcases the importance of agricultural and environmental sustainability.
And so now there's the question of what can be done to prevent this. The general answer to what can prevent this is monitoring. Initially, the island soil was rich with nutrients as it had been untapped prior to the arrival of its inhabitants. However, with the Easter Island's growing population, much of the soil had been used and exploited over and over without care for the island's regeneration time. You cannot indefinitely plant and replant crops or trees as it depletes the soil of its nutrients. And so, careful moderation of how often you plant is necessary to ensure you don't push the island past its limit. Furthermore, practicing methods such as crop rotation, where different crops are planted in an area in a plant sequence over multiple growing seasons, is vital to ensure that the soil remains fertile, and this also helps to manage disease and maintain sufficient nutrients. Okay, we're not time.